devs like dumping on us. We kind of colluded, came together as a community behind the devs' back, and took over. We did a community coup d'etat.
I have a connect to the UFC that helped me out.
National Gigachad Day. What is that?
We literally do attract the biggest Gigachads in the space.
Hi guys, and welcome to What's the Meta. I'm your host, Ryan S. Gladwin, and I'm here with two Gigachad community team members, Hop and Phantom. How are you guys?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good. Thank you very much. How are you, Hop?
Doing amazing. I'm super excited for this interview. Thanks for having us.
For those who don't know, Gigachad is a meme coin that launched in January of this year, and it references a meme that comes from all the way back in 2017. It sort of had its ups and downs, as every meme coin does, but it currently sits at $160 million market cap and has sort of captured the attention of crypto Twitter. Over DMs, we've spoken. You've sort of referenced the idea of a Gigachad ethos and sort of this idea that runs through the community. Sort of, what is that and why is it important to you?
When it comes to Gigachad, it attracts a certain type of person, a certain type of personality. So that's what I personally like about it. If you talk to anybody on the team, anybody in the community, you'll see we all have the same missions, the same goals, the same type of lifestyle. So that's why I personally like that type of ethos. Something you can be proud to associate yourself with instead of some random ass like animal coin.
Even if you go like all the way back to the beginning of like human nature and mankind, like it's always been about self-improvement, and those people who focus on self-improvement usually dominate and become the leaders and winners of history. And Gigachad, that's like what it's all about, is self-improvement. So I think this has huge potential to not only become like a massive meme coin, but to become like a culture shifting masculinity, positivity, whole vibe shift for the world.
Interesting you say culture coin there as well. I feel like it's sort of been an interesting shift with meme coins as of late. They've sort of like real cultures are building around them, and it feels like tokens are sort of, by owning and holding a token, it's sort of saying that you believe in this ethos and way of living. What is that Gigachad mission you sort of mentioned there? Is it the idea of self-improvement? You sort of touch on masculinity there. So how would you sum up the mission of Gigachad?
Self-improvement is kind of like the core base foundation of it. And when you go into self-improvement, it's not only like just improving yourself, but being able to improve other people's lives and doing like kind of putting your best foot forward and doing what you can to kind of lift everybody up. Gigachad kind of really embodies that. You can look at his Instagram posts, Ernest Kalimov, huge inspiration for all of this, of course, but he really embodies like, you know, just putting your best foot forward and being the best version of yourself. If we can get everybody on that same wavelength, then I think the world has a much better outlook and a much better future.
I do want to mention something you just said about culture coins. So you see the shift away from, these alpha callers, these KOLs, to these cult communities and slow moons are really, really like making an effect right now. People are realizing like culture and a community where like you're side by side with the brotherhood, with your other people like aping every day. Like we come in, we say Giga morning every morning. At night we say Giga night every night. It's nonstop. 7 months straight of that. You can't replace that with some alpha caller. Yeah, I mean the whole idea is self-improvement, and the pendulum of society is swinging. You saw what happened with the Olympic opening ceremony the other day. How pissed everyone has been getting. It's time to at this point it's time to make a stand, and Gigachad is that one coin where you could actually make a stand on the blockchain. That's how I view it. We're fighting against the same way Bitcoin is fighting against, the regular financial industry. I feel like Gigachad is fighting against all this type of degeneracy, even in the crypto meme coin space.
Interesting. So is Gigachad sort of a right-wing crypto movement, culture coin?
Yeah, I'd say so. I wouldn't say like right-wing specifically, but yeah.
Yeah, Hop, you seem on the fence there. You're sort of ducking and diving.
I'm not like a super political kind of person, so like right wing, left wing. I'm just very based in the belief that self-improvement is the way to go. Whatever wing or preferences you have, religion, all that stuff, like it always boils down to self-improvement, in my opinion.
Take me back to the beginning of this project, when you guys first invested, sort of when the project first started. Hop, if I remember correctly, you were there sort of really early on in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you mentioned something weird going on with the dev. I'm not entirely familiar with what happened there. So
I'll give you the rundown. So I was there at the very beginning. The contract had just launched by a dev named Oxviz. He's honestly like kind of a known kind of like serial rugger. There's this group of people, the cabal, that go through and pump new coins like every week. Super annoying stuff. He launched Gigachad and it had some pretty good success within like the first hour. But an article came out about him, or a thread came out saying like, oh, this is just another rug. And so everybody kind of panic sold. The market cap went from like almost a million, like 600,000, down to 20K within like an hour. And so I had just gotten into the Solana meme coin space. I had just started trading up my bag a little bit, and I get rugged, and I'm like, all right, well, this is bullshit. I'm gonna revenge bid right now. So at 20K market cap, I loaded up what I thought was a decent amount. Wish I got more, to be honest. We sit there as a community, we kind of come together, and at this point, the dev was like kind of showing some effort to keep this thing going. So he's on the team with us. We got Giga Griff, who's a huge part of this. I would refer to him as pretty much the cult leader behind this whole thing. Without him, I don't know if we would have gotten anywhere. The community comes together and we revive. So we're hitting raids. We go from 20K to like 150K within the night. We wake up and we start experiencing some pretty good movement. We get up to like 1.5 million. The community's going hard. Over the course of time, we realized that the dev had been slowly farming us. I think he had like 10% of the supply at the beginning. So for a month, 2 months straight, where the community's coming together, putting in a bunch of work, trying to take this thing to the next level. And every time we experience any breakout momentum, the dev's like dumping on us. And so that's going on for about 1 or 2 months. Eventually we realize it. Vide Mode pointed out that Oxviz was like a serial scammer. We kind of colluded, came together as a community behind the dev's back, and took over. We did a community coup d'etat, we like to say. So we took over like the Telegram, we took over the Twitter, because he had shared those things. Because even with these like cabal plays and insider stuff, you do need the community to kind of take the reins on some things. So he'd shared like the Twitter passwords and stuff with us. So that allowed us to take over everything, all the socials, completely kick him out over the course of the last 7 months. Yeah, he's pretty much dwindled his bag down to nothing, and he has virtually no say in anything now. It was like one of those true like community takeovers. Like you hear about community takeovers these days, but I don't think there's anything that compares to what we've done with this early days in Giga. Phantom came in right at the tail end of it, and he's really been like a great addition to everything that's going on.
It's really interesting that it was a community takeover while the dev was still there. Normally, community takeovers happen when the dev like just completely gets out of there, no longer involved in any way. How do you overthrow a dev that's still in the project? Do they not just have like control of the deck screener, of like official channels and stuff like that? Like, how did you get him out?
Yeah, so we had to drop a good amount of money. We had to pay some people to make the contract immutable. So now nobody can change it. Everything that's on chain is pretty much set in stone. Like there's nothing that we can change there. Obviously there's different like platforms that you can get information from, but he's pretty much uninvolved up to this point. He sold most of his bag. He's got virtually no power. Like I said, we logged in, changed the passwords on the Twitter, completely took over the Telegram. Yeah, there's like virtually nothing you can do about it, but it was definitely for the better. And it's funny because when we first did this, we actually hosted like a Twitter space trying to address him, like how are we going to move forward with this, like what do you see going on. And he was just kind of being an ass, but he was like, yeah, you guys have no reach without me, so I don't know what you guys are going to do. And then sure enough, here we are. Oxviz, the dev, he sleeps in till like 2 p.m. every day, so we had plenty of time to do this community coup d'etat. We dropped some threads that went viral in the morning before he even wakes up. And then he wakes up and he sees all this madness and like the charts ripping, and he's logged out of the Twitter. He doesn't have access to like the Telegram like he used to. And he's just like, guys, what the fuck?
How did the project change from that point onwards? Like this guy was, as you say, he was rugging on you guys, but did the sort of voice of the Twitter account change? What changes did you want to make without him in the core team?
Yeah, so for the month leading up to that, kind of like we're kind of pushing him out anyways. Like he did bring a different kind of vibe, but he was a serial rugger, so people knew that. So as we kicked him out, he wasn't really posting on the Twitter as much anyways. So like it had already been kind of a shift within inside the community already. Just when we announced those threads, we kind of went viral, and if you look at the chart, like it's a completely like 180. Like it was down to like 150K market cap, and the preceding days is like just up only for 3 weeks. So that got us a lot of attention, and then just brought the community and made us a lot stronger, because we were all able to rally behind our new leader, who's Giga Griff, who actually had like the right intentions and the right vision for this entire project.
That's interesting. You have a leader within the team. I was speaking to a community member at Billy, and they were sort of saying that they didn't have a leader. They're very sort of just get on with what you're going to get on with. Sort of, we just sort of agree with how things are going to work out. How did you appoint a new leader, and why do you feel that's important?
I would say it's not that we appointed a new leader. It's like the people who showed up day in and day out. So I was there with Griff. He would always say like, who's in the gym shooting with me? So for those first 2 months where we can't break 1 million market cap, it's me, him, a few other guys, Jaquez. I could shout out a few more, but we all showed up day in, day out, woke up. From the moment we woke up to the moment we go to bed, we're working everything we can to make Giga to like stand out and get our presence felt. He just happened to be, I guess, the smoothest talker and the guy who's most consistent, to be honest. Phantom has said before he could sell crack to a police officer. He's something else.
Would you say he's the biggest Gigachad within the Gigachad community takeover team?
Um, we attract, so the whole thing about this is we literally do attract the biggest gigachads in the space. So as these days go by and months go by, huge like actual like Griff is a gigachad, I'm a gigachad, Phantom's a gigachad, but there's like huge Bitcoin whales that are like actual gigachad that are coming into the space and they're contributing in their own ways at higher levels. And that's like the beauty about this thing, because like with other communities, what are they attracting? A dog? Like people who want to resonate with the dog? No, we have the strongest thesis here because we get to attract gigachads from around the world, from all walks of life. And you can see that with the partners that we brought on, like Mike O'Hearn, Paulo Costa, a few NFL players, and some big names inside the crypto space as well. And Phantom played a great role with bringing those guys in, to be honest.
We'll get onto those guys in a little bit, but just to sort of go back to 2017 when this meme comes about, a photographer called Sleek and Tears would post loads of images that they'd taken with bodybuilders, and one time they posted this guy that just looks insane. He's got the craziest jaw, the craziest beard, the craziest body, like everything about him is just insane. And he has Berlin 1969 tattooed on his like lower stomach, right?
I didn't know he had any tattoos.
I think he has Berlin's in 1969 tattooed down there.
That's his Instagram handle for sure. Yeah.
Later on, someone then takes one of these images that Sleek and Tears had taken of Gigachad and posted it to 4chan, calling him a Gigachad. This is obviously in reference to the internet term Chad, which means being a successful man, whether that be in your career, with women, it's sort of every aspect of your life. So obviously Gigachad is a Chad to the biggest extreme. Have you guys spoken to Sleek and Tears or the bodybuilder mentioned? Yeah.
The thing with Sleek and Tears and Gigachad, obviously Gigachad is very edited photo. That's not, just him in his natural form.
What?
So the actual owner of the meme is Sleek and Tears, and the photographer, who also happens to be Ernest's girlfriend. And the interesting thing about them is, we've been trying to reach out to them for months. And I don't know, do you know Your Meme? It's like the Wikipedia for memes.
Of course, yeah.
We had a meeting with him relatively early on, and he came to us and he was like, "Listen, if you guys ever get in touch with Sleek and Tears or Ernest, like let us know. We've been trying to reach them for years, and we can't even get a hold of them." And what's interesting is they responded to us like 6 months after we originally reached out. And I don't want to give too much information, but the sum of it essentially is that like they get offers left and right, tens of thousands of dollars to make a post, partnership offers, sponsorships, all that type of stuff. But essentially from what I'm reading, is they've been watching us and they've been seeing what we've been building, and they view this as the first actual like genuine community built around Gigachad and an opportunity for them to actually get involved for the first time. So I'll leave it at that. And the proof is in the Instagram. Ernest actually posted a picture of Giga Fitness, edited on him, and the caption was like something along the lines of, "I heard they call me the big one," clearly referencing our project. So that is a massive, massive stamp of approval that most people don't realize even happened, let alone, comprehended how big that is. So that's something small. There's more conversations going on right now about how we're going to handle this and, long-term things, but that's a public stamp of approval from the meme creator themselves.
Yeah, that is huge because, I mean, most meme coins, in a way, stealing a meme from someone who first created it and then further down the line, I mean, Shark Cat is probably one of the best examples. They had a whole legal case over the fact they've used this image of a cat that they hadn't had approved. Luckily, it was resolved and every party's happy now. But yeah, to have the stamp of approval from Gigachad is huge.
And the lore behind that, we'll keep it a little bit mystery on how it all came together. But it happened. He posted that Giga Fitness Instagram post on National Gigachad Day, the day that we went to go drop our Giga Fitness. Like the way that the stars aligned and the way that they continue to align for this project is, I can't even explain it. It's like divine intervention. Like the way that this stuff just keeps one after the other, just keeps unfolding in front of us.
Bro,
and it catches all of us by surprise. It's crazy.
I get goosebumps, bro. I get goosebumps thinking about that. Even that day specifically, like just to add. So it's National Gigachad Day, which also happens to be Elon's birthday. It happens to be the day that the Gigachad himself responds to us. Also happens to be the day we launch our Collection Zero, sell out in an hour and a half. And Nike drops 20% that day because their earnings and revenues are down tremendously because there is a wave of new fitness brands coming. Nike is the old guard. You see Gymshark, Young LA, Essential, and now Giga Fitness, like the ability to create a brand from nothing to, a household name is not that hard. You just need a few fighters to walk out wearing it, a few of your favorite influencers to be wearing it on Instagram, and just a few people at the gym, and all of a sudden it's a brand. You see it right here. This is I'm ingraining this image right here into the viewer's mind. All it takes is them to see someone walk out with a fight with the same logo on, and it's a household name. That's all it takes. So I'm sorry, I got passionate real quick. And one thing I wanted to add regarding the takeover, like unfortunately I wasn't there when this sweat equity and lore was put in, but the amount of like giga motion and Gigachad mentality to forcibly kick out a dev who didn't even want to leave, like that's insane. That's something irreplaceable, and you can't just replicate that again. Like they forced a dev that didn't even want to leave out because they needed to do what they got to do. And when it comes to who decided Griff to be the leader, as men, we appreciate and understand the value of hierarchy, and in order to be successful, there needs to be some type of level of hierarchy, and it comes down to who puts in the sweat equity. You lead by example. Griff led by example from day one. He got his hands on the actual at Gigachad Twitter handle. That's why I hopped in. I've seen hundreds of Gigachads. I know the value of the meme. Doge is Millennials' biggest meme, and then you have Gen Z. Their biggest memes are Pepe, Gigachad, and Wojak. You see where Pepe's at. Wojak, doesn't get me passionate. Obviously, I have some of that. But Gigachad is the only one that gets people passionate, and they own the at Gigachad Twitter handle. To me, that's a stamp of approval as this is the final Gigachad meme.
I have a couple follow-ups there. Sorry, National Gigachad Day. What is that? When is that?
June 28th. June 28th. It's no one knows who created that, who brought that up. Like even Ernest and Sleek and Tears were like, what is that day? Because they're from Russia. So National Gigachad Day is a US recognized day. You Google it. It's hilarious.
Okay. And yeah, so Giga Fitness, that is a sports fitness brand relating to the meme coin.
Yeah, so I would say it's like a fitness lifestyle brand. With these meme coins, like you could do simple merch like meme merch and whatnot, but we decided to take it kind of a step further and think about with Nike and the new guard of Phantom was saying Young LA and Gymshark. It just made a lot of sense to try and take this to the next level. We're not just coming with merch. We have plans for supplements and different lifestyle products like personal training and stuff like that. Like all this stuff can come down the line, and it really opens up a lot of doors. I like to reference it and speak about it like marketing squared. So not only do we have the coin, as the coin goes up in value, then the fitness brand will go up in value. And as the fitness brand goes up in value and recognition, that marketing that goes into that also comes back into the coin. So it's almost like we have a flywheel that's just constantly working in our favor. And I think that this is definitely going to be one of the biggest companies and biggest coins that ever happens, because you look at these other fitness brands, they don't have a meme that has been ingrained and put into the internet and like scored into everybody's minds for the last decade or so, that's kind of been pre-programming them to understand and realize like, I recognize and resonate with that. And when I see it in a fitness store and I see the supplement with Gigachad's face on it, Gigachad branding, I'm naturally going to lean towards that and check that out. I want to know what that's about. And then, oh wow, a month later after I've already used the protein, it turns out there's a coin, and I've actually wanted to get into crypto. So it's like, it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a really fun journey.
Since launching, you've sort of partnered with a number of people, most notably UFC fighter Paulo Costa, bodybuilder Mike O'Hearn. Sort of, what was that process like, and how did you do it?
So first, I want to shout out Stig, still in the game. He's, he doesn't show his face much on the Telegram side, the CT side. He doesn't care too much about the clout, but he is grinding, absolutely grinding behind the scenes regarding the brand partnerships, building that out, setting up the LLC, setting up trademark, all that type of shit. So when it comes to the brand, not only does it create a flywheel type of aspect, it creates also a two-pronged approach where crypto is a really touchy subject on its own. And then you add the meme coin aspect as well. Like a lot of people don't want to get involved in that. But when we come to these athletes and influencers of like, yo, don't worry about the coin. Like check out our brand, check out our merch, see if you like it. Tell me if you can be part of it. You don't have to talk about the coin at all. So it opens a door to a lot of people. I have a connect to the UFC that helped me out, helped us get in touch with Paulo Costa. He's already into crypto. He's already into Bitcoin. So it made it really easy. And he's had experiences, with meme coins a little bit from the last cycle. And when we pitched him the idea, like all we wanted was a tweet originally. But they came back to us and was like, yo, Paulo absolutely loves it. Like he wants more than just a tweet. Like he wants to be brand ambassador. He saw the vision, which is something that we've been doing where like not a single KOL has been paid, not a penny on CT marketing. I think we paid one time for spaces. That's about it, like very early on to get the word out. But aside from that, we don't pay for shit, We hop on calls with these KOLs or these influencers and we pitch them directly. The same conversation we're having with you, we've had with over like I don't know, 50 people at least, giving them the full breakdown of what we're building. Some of them were like, okay, but how much will you pay me? Some of them were like, damn, okay, I'm going to buy back. Or some of them said, all right, let me know what you could pay me. But they bought it back anyways because they saw the vision. Yeah, so Paulo saw the vision, wanted to get involved. And then luckily he has connects to Mike O'Hearn. You know, we hopped on a call with him and he said, listen, I don't know anything about crypto. I don't care about it, but I see what you guys are pushing and I love that you're promoting masculinity and I want to be part of it. And, you know, okay, we're like, okay, fine. Don't talk about the coin if you don't want to, but we got this fitness brand. We'd love to see you wear it and, you know, see your thoughts and you could help build this out. We like to say like Nike had MJ and Tiger Woods. Giga Fitness has Gigachad, Michael Hearn, and Paulo Costa and all these other guys. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Like, and another thing about Michael Hearn, he's very protective of his image and who he partners with. Similar to Gigachad himself, they're very protective of what they would partner with, which a lot, you know, any disciplined man and high team man who cares about his brand is going to be like that. Even us, like we wouldn't attach ourselves to something we weren't proud of. Michael Hearn partnering with us is another stamp of approval within the industry where, you know, we approach someone else and be like, they don't take us seriously until we're like, yo, Michael Hearn's on board. They're like, oh shit, okay. Because, you know, he's very picky. So you say Michael Hearn's on board, it opens a lot of doors. So, you know, this is still the beginning.
To that note, I kind of want to talk about it before I forget it. During the first few months, the community takeover, we recognized early on that this was like a normie focused coin. So we went through our personal networks. We got like anywhere from 17 to 20% of the supply into normie hands. I'm talking about friends, family, people who've never owned crypto before. We tell them, hey, this is Gigachad. If you think about Doge, Pepe, Wojak, like this is one of those main coins that has a huge potential in the crypto space. We're giving it to you guys below a million market cap. So those guys have been super happy. But the point is, like, we'd rather spend and focus and put our efforts towards bringing on normie influencers instead of like these Twitter KOLs who don't bring tons of value outside of crypto Twitter, which is just a circle jerk of people losing money anyways. So we understand and recognize, like, by having the fitness brand, the two-prong approach, we can go at these people who have massive influence outside of crypto Twitter, massive influence for normal people who want to get involved.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that. You're wanting to bring in people outside of crypto in. I'm interested to hear to you what makes a Gigachad. You sort of mentioned a few things in here in terms of like masculinity, high T, and I'm just sort of generally interested in your sort of parameters of what a Gigachad is and what makes a Gigachad.
In the original like 4chan post, they say Gigachad is like the perfect specimen. And so you think about like all of the different avenues that you can be successful in life, like we were saying, like financially, physically, spiritually, with girls and whatnot. Like someone who's just got it all figured out is like the ultimate Gigachad. You know, like you look at him and you just know, damn, that guy has it together. That's like the stamp of what a Gigachad is. Elon Musk is another one of those people that we would definitely refer to as Gigachad, and he's got his Gigafactories. We can go into that a little bit later.
What's a Gigafactory? I have no clue what a Gigafactory is.
Oh my gosh, my friend. Elon Musk, he's got these Tesla factories all around the world, right? They're literally
Right.
called Gigafactories.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Elon Musk has only ever tweeted Gigachad like once before. He actually did it yesterday in like a reply to a Gigachad meme. However, it was in reference to Doge. Talking about Doge back in 2017, he said, you don't have to be a Gigachad to own. And that was in reference to Doge. So what do you have to be a Gigachad to be to own? The Giga token on Solana. And it's just so ingrained inside like the culture anyways, like Giga senders, Giga candles, Giga this, Giga that. Like people are using it all the time, and it's a very powerful ticker. It's one of those
Giga,
selling points.
Giga literally means billions.
Yeah.
I'm just interested because like Elon Musk is a great example of you see him as a Gigachad, but if you put Gigachad like the Gigachad and Elon Musk side and side, like they're completely different human beings, right? Like Elon Musk is a bit of a dweeby guy, let's be honest, whereas Gigachad is like this hyper masculine sort of bodybuilder. I'm just interested in where that interplay between these two different types of men and how they can both be Gigachads. There's something else that's in there, right?
The way I view it, first of all, Gigachad himself, that's unattainable. You know, let's be real. Everyone knows it's edited. It's something that's unattainable, which is kind of nice. You know, it's something that it's like we all strive to be that. But to me, Gigachad represents like the fucking balls. You know, the balls that you have to do what you got to do, the discipline, the everyday, day in and day out, whatever industry you're in, whatever skill you want to master, coming in and day out. You know, Kobe doesn't look like a Gigachad, but he displays Giga motion, Gigachad energy. You know, shooting shots all day, every day for his whole life to master his skill. These trade five people, they might be fat as shit, out of shape sitting on the computer, but they're aping millions of dollars on thousand leverage, calling each other, yo, I'm a bigger Chad than you. I'm a Giga Chad, you're not. Look how much money I'm playing around with. To me, it represents the balls to take risks. That's what it represents. The balls to take risks and the discipline to come in and day out. That's what Gigachad represents.
Because some of your critics, for example, would maybe suggest that you're less so maybe your token, but the idea of Gigachad promotes sort of toxic masculinity and sort of these dangerous ideas around unrealistic body images and stuff like that. What would your response to those critics be?
I mean, my response would be that we're kind of fighting against those type of people anyways. That's the pendulum that's swinging right now. The idea of toxic masculinity is very broad. You got to get more specific, to be honest. So, like, what's toxic about having a family, committing to one woman, and, not cheating on your girl? You know what I mean? That's what Gigachad represents. It's not like this red pill, like, degeneracy that maybe they're thinking of, but it's purely just like you do what you do as a man. What's toxic about that?
I guess the people's definition of toxic masculinity is more like feeling like you need to embody this type of man, like stereotype that has existed throughout time that sort of represses other emotions, and being able to be engage with that softer side of yourself that you may need to sort of feel comfortable within yourself and make people around you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that's a much different topic, to be honest. But like within our community, you'll have to come in the TG and see. But like we have moments where it's like people are struggling in their personal lives, and then we're open to talk about it. Like, listen, like, if you're struggling and shit, like reach out to some of us, and we're all here to each other. It's a brotherhood. Toxic masculinity overall is just such an overused term, very broad term. You really got to get specific of what a man needs to be. I personally believe in many others that having muscles and working hard and pushing yourself to the limit is something that men should do. That's my personal belief, and I think biology and history aligns with that as well. And honestly, proof of work, which is also our slogan for Giga Fitness, but proof of work pays off. Like you come in and you've seen it everywhere. If you just work hard, it pays off. So
I'm glad you guys are there for each other, because that was something that I was slightly apprehensive with this project of. It could get to that extreme of like, no, don't never feel sad, never look after each other, but you've got to look after each other, man. And I'm down with that. Realistically, that topic aside, most people actually just don't care. And all they see is the Gigachad meme, and they embrace it and they love it. Like we mentioned before, you're now a $160 market cap. And yeah, I see you guys on Twitter a lot, like sort of taking over the place. How have you done that? What is your social media approach? How have you dominated crypto Twitter?
So like at the very early days, we had during like community takeover, Giga Griff and the other community members came together. We got at Gigachad on X, that very clean handle, one of the most valuable pieces of IP I'd say in the internet. We kind of focus that on normies. So we're replying to like Elon Musk posts, Andrew Tate posts, whoever's got like a lot of attention, like all sorts of different posts that have to do with Gigachads. When people mention Gigachad, even on Twitter, like a subtweet, we go through, we find it, we comment, we'll engage. And that brings a lot of people outside of crypto Twitter, brings a lot of their attention. And then we also have Gigachad_meme, which is our crypto Twitter focused page. That allowed us to grow in the crypto Twitter side of things, which we have a lot of bull posters inside the community. That's kind of one of the main differences between our community and all the other ones. All of our main guys, we only really ever bull post Giga. Like we're not talking about any other coins ever. Whereas if you look at other communities, they've got these tier lists with like 12 different memes, and you go to our tier list and we're literally just saying Giga. That's the only coin that matters. That's one of our strengths that we have. Like we have the strongest, I have said it before and I'll continue to say it. We have the strongest cult on Solana. And if we keep going the way we're going, we're going to have the strongest cult in crypto. And that's just a tribute to how strong and how much people want to resonate with Gigachad himself and what that embodies.
Is there any marketing efforts outside of Twitter that you guys have been doing?
Yeah, I mean that's where people like Michael Hearn come in, Paulo Costa come in. To be honest, we've done all of this a lot of times out of our pockets, and on a low budget and stuff. Obviously if we want to spend, we can. If we want to spend big, we can, but we're being very picky about where we want to spend. But for the most part, I mean, this is all organic. The only real big marketing stunt that we had was the Michael Hearn psyop, where we convinced CT that Michael Hearn was going to launch a coin just for him to post the Gigachad contract address, which is very interesting because, like, CT was ignoring us for the longest time, even as we broke 20 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil. Normally, like, if a coin gets to 30, 40, 50 mil, everyone and their mamas are talking about it. For some reason, everyone was ignoring us, acting like we didn't exist. So we're like, okay, we really got to get their attention now. And I was like, fuck it, let's just get Michael Hearn, because we knew we signed Michael Hearn at this point. We're like, how are we gonna announce it? And I was begging them because I saw Metaverse Joji. Shout out Joji. He kind of did this where he hyped up a launch and then he just posted Giga CA. Brought that idea to me. I'm like, bro, we need to do this like for the next major announcement we have. So with Mike O'Hearn, I was like, bro, please, let's just get him to hype up a launch, post a Giga CA, and within an hour, all of CT was like, yo, Mike O'Hearn is about to launch a coin. And once again, everyone kind of knows he's protective of his image. So they assumed, anything he's gonna launch, he's gonna push hard, and it's not gonna be like, I don't even know what some of these rappers' names are that like launched a coin and immediately sell right after. So they were ready. Like all of CT was ready, and then we just kind of we mogged all of CT. It's like you have no choice. You have no choice but to look at us now. That turned the corner for us, I think.
Yeah, that was a massive day that I think caught even like most of us, especially me, by surprise. To kind of paint the backdrop of what was going on there, there's the celebrity meta, like Iggy Azalea just dropped a coin, Andrew Tate and all these other celebs are coming in. It was just like the perfect timing to pull a stunt like that. It's so funny because you see it all over. People are begging at the time, like, why can't these celebrities come in and get behind a coin that's already established and push that coin instead of trying to come in and like rug liquidity and push their own coin that's not going to be around next month because they have other shit going on. So for us to do it, and then even to this day, like people are talking about, well, here's what happened. Here's the fallout from the celebrity meta, and it shows like all these negative 99% rugs and all this stuff, and they still refuse to bring up like Mike O'Hearn and Paulo Costa and all these celebrities that we've onboarded so far. So we still have an upward battle, and I think it has a lot to do with crypto Twitter as a whole. Like a lot of the users who didn't get allocation, who we had talked to in the past, like wanted allocation, we refused to give allocation. I think they fear us. I think they understand that this could end up becoming like the face of Solana and then go on to be the face of crypto. And if they're not in on it, then they don't want to see it
Yeah.
succeed.
But one of the latest things that happened in your sort of like marketing attempts, I guess, was Hop, you got a tattoo. I wrote
Yeah.
about this article. You got
There's
the
the proof.
contract address on your chest,
Yeah.
and you spelt it wrong, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm like a crypto nerd, like crypto native. I've been in crypto for 7 years, and I've always wanted to get a crypto tattoo, but I couldn't find a project that like kind of inspired me to do it quite yet. I've seen people get like Bible verses and stuff on their chest, so I was like, man, I'm gonna get the contract address of Gigachad because it's been such an iconic contract address. You see Mike O'Hearn post it, you see Joji pull his stunt. I was like, man, I'm gonna get it. So I sent it over to my tattoo artist. He has no idea what it is. He lays it all out. We both like double triple check it. We both missed the U. I go to post it on Twitter and like it's getting great feedback. People are like, yo, that's a hard tattoo. That's great. I can't believe you got the Giga contract address. And like 10 minutes in, somebody's like, yo, you have a typo. There's an extra U in there. And at that point, it was too late. It's already on my chest. It's still bandaged up. I can't even look at it to check myself. At that point, I knew it was going to go viral. And I was like, whatever, let's let it ride. Let's see what happens. And it certainly got some attention. I mean, I wouldn't change it. I think it came out the best way it possibly could have, to be honest. Because any normie I show this to, like anyone who sees me, they're not going to know there's a typo. They have zero idea unless I tell them.
Yeah. I think even not normies, even a Gigachad investor, they're gonna have to like look at it like side by side like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you did that and you missed it.
Yeah.
I think it probably did go more viral because of that. But in the moment that you realise that it has an extra U, were you a little bit like, were you a little bit gutted?
I was like, oh fuck. But to be honest, like I'm just such a carefree person. Like it's so hard to like bug me or throw me off. So I mean, I was like, I'm here for it. Whatever.
There's other people in the Gigachad community that have got a tattoo, right?
Yeah, so people he got it at like a 5 million market cap, which is hilarious. And he's kind of like, I've been trying to get one ever since I saw that. He just got the ticker Giga, so no typos there. Yeah, we have a really strong cult, and I don't imagine this is going to be the last tattoo you guys see.
There's not many other meme coins that I can even think of where people have got tattoos. I guess what does that say about your community and the people that buy your token?
Well, I would say it's a testament to like really like what is going on here. Like people are diehard Gigachad. They don't care about the other stuff. Like we have a saying, and we've been saying it since the beginning: full port Giga. And a lot of our guys are completely gung ho on that. Any profits they make outside of Gigachad comes back to Giga. And you want to put all of your eggs into this basket. And people say like don't do that, but you look at actual Gigachads, Elon Musk, who's gone all in on Tesla, trying to go to Mars and whatnot. Michael Saylor, all in on Bitcoin with MicroStrategy. Like that's just kind of what our culture with Gigachad Gigachad specifically is like you go all in on the big conviction plays, and that's how you make it. That's how it's been throughout crypto. If you go back, like yeah, people can rotate and rotate and rotate, but they end up getting burned most of the time. Whereas if you were at the very beginning, just stuck to Bitcoin, went all in on Bitcoin, now you have way more success than you would have if you were chasing other things.
We're wrapping up here, but for my last question, I'm interested for other meme coin projects looking at you guys. What can they learn from Giga and the Gigachad community?
I want to add, this also ties into something I wanted to say before we go. An interesting thing that is going on with Giga that other projects don't have is any other project that launches or teams that are running it, for the most part, they do crypto full time. You know, they need to sell to make money. They need the project to go up to make money. You know what I mean? They have to take profit eventually. At Gigachad over here is all of us are Gigachads IRL. I have my work going, my laptop at work is going on right now. If you're a Gigachad, your work will just leave you there to stay just because they want you. You don't got to do shit. I'm a software test analyst. Hop runs restaurants. Griff, I don't even know what he does, but he studied chemical engineering. Stig runs a crypto hedge fund. We got lawyers. We have financial advisors. We have accountants. Like we don't need money. You know. So one thing I'd say to investors and other projects: know who your whales are. Know if they need to sell to make money. Know what they're doing. Like know how they are outside of the project. And another big thing, and to anybody getting into meme coins, because I know it's about to be huge this next year or two probably. Listen, there's two sides to meme coins. There's a degenerate gambling side, and there's an investing side. When you approach a project, first ask yourself, which side does this fall on? The degenerate gambling is, okay, is this a trend? Trump getting shot and a bunch of coins coming out. Those aren't investments. Those are gambles. Those are like degen plays. Or the questions like, oh, which KOL is going to call it? Oh, I heard this person's in. Those are degen gambles. And then you have the investment side, which really barely any projects fall into that side. Those are the Pepes, those are the Doge, those are the Gigachad. You know what I mean? I don't even know what else I can mention that falls under that. Maybe Dog with Pad because it's the first mover on Solana. Maybe Wojak because the meme is strong even though the community is like non-existent. But ask yourself that question when you approach the project.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. That was a powerful speech, pushing the Gigachad ethos at the end. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Ryan.
you.
It was a pleasure.